How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at my Halloween movie collection. Now, not just the John Carpenter Halloween franchise, but a whole bunch of other cool stuff that is all movies that take place on Halloween. Now, these are all the ones that I have. It's not a complete collection of every Halloween movie ever, obviously. So if you see, if you know of a movie that you don't see here, and you're like, that's a really good classic Halloween movie, you should check it out, definitely leave me your recommendations. However, that being said, we're not just talking about horror movies. We're talking specifically about movies set on Halloween. So you get some movies that people think of as Halloween classics, but they're really just horror movies and they don't actually take place on Halloween. I'm not looking for stuff like that. I'm looking for specific Halloween movies. Now, some of these I've already reviewed, and at the end of the video there'll be a playlist, and you can click on that playlist and see my reviews for those movies. Now, some of them I haven't, and if you see one here and you're like, oh, you have to review that one, that's a really good movie, definitely tell me that as well. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at all the Halloween movies in my collection. And we have to start off, right, with the classic John Carpenter's Halloween. Now, if you want to see more on these movies, I do have a video just showing you my Halloween Blu-rays and talking about them a little more, but this set has the first 10 Halloween movies, 1 through 6, H2O, and Resurrection, the sequel, as well as the Rob Zombie remakes, and it is really good to get them all in one nice Blu-ray set. After that, we have two more things. The Blumhouse remake of Halloween from 2018, I believe, and the producer's cut of The Curse of Michael Myers, Part 6, the better cut in my opinion. But if you haven't seen Halloween, check it out. It is the movie that spawned the 80s slasher. Michael Myers, a young kid, just suddenly snaps, kills his older sister, and is sent to an asylum for 15 years. He eventually breaks out, returns to his hometown, and goes on a killing spree. The first movie, directed by John Carpenter, is great. I have a review for it, and a lot of the sequels are pretty good as well. And I'm going to be at least doing parts 2 through 6 during this Halloween season. I might get to some of the other ones as well. Up next, after Halloween, my second favorite Halloween franchise, the Night of the Demons franchise. Here's Night of the Demons 1. I also have Part 2, and then we have the remake. Now, there is a Night of the Demons Part 3, also known as Demon House, but that DVD is very, very rare, and I am still looking for it, and it has not gotten a Blu-ray release, so that I'm a little upset about. Hey, Scream Factory, Vinegar Syndrome, anybody, if you guys want to release Night of the Demons 3 on Blu-ray, I will buy it. It is such a hole in my collection. But anyway, Night of the Demons, if you guys are Evil Dead fans, definitely check this out. A group of teenagers goes to have a Halloween party, and they accidentally, this house is possessed by demons, and the kids start to turn into demons and then attack the other surviving kids. Very crazy, very fun, very high energy, very much inspired by The Evil Dead, and it is a fun, crazy movie, and you have Linnea Quigley in it as well, so really do love this movie. I have a review for Part 1, and I have a review for the remake, which is actually pretty good. And, oh yeah, Edward Furlong from Terminator 2 in it. But this one I don't have a review for yet, and I am definitely covering Night of the Demons 2 this Halloween, so check that out in the future. Moving right along to another very famous Halloween franchise, The House's October Build. I have Part 1 right here with this very nice orange cover, and then Part 2 with a really nice blue cover. Part 1 it's these haunted houses. It's a found footage horror movie where most of the footage is actually a real thing. It's this documentary where these people go and they're looking for an extreme haunted house, and they go and they walk through real life, actually existing haunted houses, and they meet real Halloween haunted house people who tell them real stories. Like 80% of this movie is a real found footage. It's just see, they're looking for the most extreme haunted house, and when you get to the stuff with the extreme crazy haunted house, that's where it's all made up and just storytelling. But the rest of it is a real documentary about going through haunted houses and hearing crazy haunted house stories. So definitely check that out if you're really into haunted houses. Plus, a lot of it was shot around Texas, which is really fun. But anyway, part 2, they get famous in both real life and in the movie, and they're invited to bigger and bigger haunted houses. Now, it is cool to see bigger haunted houses. It does kind of take away from going to these grungy haunted houses in the middle of nowhere where you don't know who they are. The haunted houses are really cool in this, and in that way, like, the real stuff is a good sequel, you know, lots of crazy things. The thing is, the story in this one isn't as good, the made-up stuff, and there's a twist at the end where you find out the blue skeleton's motivation. I was not really a fan of that twist, but the stuff that's real is still pretty good in this movie, so definitely worth checking out. But yeah, houses October built, Halloween haunted houses, really great stuff. Up next, another trilogy. We have the All Hallows Eve / Terrifier trilogy. So All Hallows Eve 1, a classic anthology featuring Art the Clown, a really cool horror icon. But these kids get a mysterious VHS in their Halloween candy, and there's weird horror movies on it, and they're watching it with a babysitter, and all the stories in some way feature Art the Clown. There's 3 of them, and of course the horror starts to get into real life, and Art the Clown is a really great character. After that, we have All Hallows Eve 2, which I have not seen yet, but it is definitely on the docket to watch this Halloween. And after that, we get Art the Clown's spin-off movie, which also does take place on Halloween, I believe. And this went on Netflix and became really popular and really popularized the Art the Clown character to the point where not everybody knew he came from All Hallows Eve. So I'm going to be getting to All Hallows Eve 2 and Terrifier definitely this Halloween. And then after that, a Halloween classic right here, Trick or Treat with Sam here. This is a very a cool anthology, you know, a little comic booky inspired by like Creepshow and stuff, but it's this kid Sam. He's going to be in some way in all the stories a mysterious little kid with this sack on, and there's all these wild and crazy stories, and sometimes they're lighthearted and then other times they get aggressively dark, but the kid's always just wandering around. You have to wonder what's up with him, and it's a really fun, crazy, over-the-top anthology. It's the same guy that made Krampus, and yeah, definitely recommend this. I do have a review for that one as well. And after that, we have Murder Party. Murder Party is the same guy that would go on to make Green Room, and if you've seen Green Room, he considers this the same, as he calls it, inept protagonist trilogy, where it's a guy who's not particularly like, he's not a horror movie hero or anything, but he has to fight his way out of the situation. He goes to a costume party, but the costume party is really set up by these art students that want to kill someone as a piece of art, and he has to talk his way out of it and escape, and there's tons of funny dialogue. It's a really good horror comedy. Napoleon Dynamite meets the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah, really cool stuff, really funny, lots of gags. I do have a review for this movie as well. Moving right along, Trick from the director of My Bloody Valentine, and we have Tom Atkins in this movie. Yeah, Trick, the same guy who did My Bloody Valentine. I think he also is the same guy that did Drive Angry. This is a fun enough slasher. It's not the best movie ever, but it's a slasher that returns around Halloween time. It's kind of like a, an alternate version of the Halloween sequels, but they're like, man, all this stuff this guy's been through, he must be dead by now, but he never is, and you follow these cops who have chased the crime, and they're like, how is this guy still coming back? Is he supernatural? Is he not? And I really do like that, with this movie, you don't know if it's supernatural or not. A fun slasher, not perfect, but pretty fun, but I definitely would, he did the remake of My Bloody Valentine, which is actually pretty fun, but also definitely check out Drive Angry. That's, Patrick Lussier that did those. Up next, one that I saw in the theaters, I picked up this movie kind of recently for $5, so it's actually still in its plastic, but Hellfest, you get this guy killing people at a Halloween amusement park, so no one really knows that he's not just an actor at this amusement park. Just some guy in a mask, there's hundreds of them, and you don't know. So there's these kids who start to see that their friends are getting picked off, and they have to convince people that it's real. You also get Tony Todd, the Candyman himself, as a barker at this theme park, so he's going to be doing the voice, and his voice is just amazing, so that is really cool. It's not the best thing ever, and it's definitely one of those that if it was just a little better, it would have been like a classic, but it's still pretty fun for what it is. It's not the best thing ever, but still has a lot going for it, so that's pretty cool. Ooh, up next, here's one that I really like. Rob Zombie's 31 on Halloween, or the 31st, hence the 31 there. This group of people gets kidnapped in this sort of Running Man type game, and you get a bunch of Eyes Wide Shut styled rich people watching them all as these weird and crazy horror characters come after them, and of course it's Sherry Moon Zombie as the lead here, but a really fun, just over-the-top horror Running Man. It's not anything super revolutionary, but it's a fun time. I should probably review this one as well. Also, we have on a completely different note, Witch's Night Out. I think I picked this up at the Dollar Tree a bit ago. But yeah, this was a cult classic cartoon from the 70s, I believe. You get all these people, and all the characters are just one color, So a really interesting thing there, but a witch turns them into monsters to celebrate Halloween, but her wand gets taken by mistake, and they have to find her wand again in order to turn back to regular people. And I thought, oh, this is like a cult classic, everyone remembers it. But when I hear people talk about it, it's more like, what was that thing that played on TV when we were kids? Remember that weird Halloween special? So, yeah, definitely weird. And you see they all have silly names like Bazooey and Tinder and Small, So, yeah, a really weird 1970s Halloween animation. I might cover it, I don't know. One that I covered last year, an Asylum movie, Halloween Night. This is actually a pretty fun movie. You get this guy, he saw his family murdered, he escapes the asylum and returns to the house years later, and he's crazy and he's going to be killing people, but because it's Halloween, the guy in a costume, I think he's dressed up like the Hangman, no one knows he's really killing people, and it's a really simple concept. But that being said, it's just fun. They push the explicit material, lots of gore and stuff, and just a fun, gory time. I have a review for this from last year, so again, that'll be at the playlist at the end of the video, but definitely, I think one of the Asylum's better movies. You think it'd be a mockbuster for Halloween, and I guess in part it is, but it's really just a fun slasher movie. And we're filling up the castle here. Up next, I have a box set from Full Moon. Full Moon's Halloween Haunts. It has Killer Eye Halloween Haunt, Skullheads, and Decadent Evil, and it's a 3 DVD box set. Now, I think out of these 3, it's only the first one that has anything to do with Halloween, really. But Halloween Haunt, the Killer Eye sequel. This is there was an old Killer Eye movie that was a Full Moon movie, and in this one, these girls are preparing a Halloween haunted house, and they watch the old Killer Eye movie, and the Killer Eye from the movie escapes the TV and gets into their haunted house. So really fun, and it's surprising that Full Moon hasn't done more horror movies, but I do love that concept. Okay, squish that into the castle. Up next, the newest Walmart direct-to-video horror movie, Black Pumpkin Trick or Treat, although I think that's not actually part of the title, it's a tagline. This movie, on Halloween 2018, I don't know why it was 2 years ago, 2 preteens accidentally awaken an ancient evil known as Bloody Bobby. I'm guessing that's him in the back there. But anyway, this is the newest direct-to-video Halloween movie from the Walmart. I'll try to cover it pretty soon, you know, while it's new and relevant. So this is definitely on the list. And I do like that cover, a black pumpkin and his head got smushed and there's orange blood all over the wall. I'll have to see if this is any good or not, and you know, I know very little about it. Could go either way. While we're talking about Walmart horror movies, I do also have The Legend of Halloween Jack. I was going to cover this, but I watched it, and boy, is this disappointing. You get this guy who they believe killed somebody, so they tried to arrest him, but there's a legal complication, and he walks away scot-free. Very much Nightmare on Elm Street. So these people in the town decide to kill him themselves. Again, very much Nightmare on Elm Street. But one of them is depressed, goes to the gravesite, shoots himself, and the blood from his dead body touches Jack's dead body buried underground and brings him back to life. Very much Hellraiser. Now, the thing with this is micro budget, and in turn, every single one of the kills is a super disappointing kill. No gore special effects at all. And sometimes I can be forgiving, going, hey, this is a micro budget movie, they couldn't afford it. But these people, a lot of these people are the same people that did the Robert the Doll movies. So I know they have some success and some money, and I'm not asking to go to even a regular budget film. But if you're a micro budget film but you really have some money, can you at least throw out halfway decent special effects so all your kills aren't disappointing? I don't know. I was going to review this, then I watched it, and I'm like, I don't want to be so negative. There is a sequel, The Curse of Halloween Jack, and they'll probably make another one, and if they make a bunch, I might do a collection video or something, but yeah, I was going to cover this, but I don't think I will, just because I don't want to rag on a movie for 20 minutes, you know, it's not really my style. A good one from the Walmart, though, last year, PHarm. PHarm, so like pharmacy. It's a Halloween corn maze, and some girls are like, I think the thousandth customer or something, and they get an invitation to the special maze where they can win big cash prizes. But of course, it's not really just a fun corn maze. It's some killers in there, and what do they want? I also really do love this, you know, tan case. It's really just this yellow color is very different. But I saw it last year, and it was pretty good. It wasn't the best thing ever, but it was pretty good. So I do have a review for this up. And if they make a sequel, I'll watch it, because I can see a few ways the story can go, and I'm interested in it. So yeah, this was pretty fun. I do have a review for it, so check that out as well. Another one, The Bates Haunting. I picked this up. I thought it'd be a mockbuster, but it is one of those haunted house. I think there's a haunted house and maybe even a haunted hayride at this one. But it's an actual place. The the Bates Haunted Hayride is a real-world location, so not super much of a mockbuster, really. But you get this girl, her friend dies in a horrible accident. A prop dragon malfunctions and actually lights her friend on fire, and she's been kind of stumbling through life since, and her father gets her a job at the Haunted Hayride to kind of face her fears, but she soon learns that it may not all have been an accident, so she has to track down the killer at this hayride that killed her friend. Overall, pretty fun. Again, not the best thing ever, but pretty fun. If you like B movies, you can check that out. And again, another one I have a full review for. Up next, a lot of people may have seen this on Netflix. This is Truth or Dare, but not the Blumhouse Truth or Dare. In this movie, people play the Truth or Dare game in the haunted house, and they are forced to do a series of progressively worse truths and dares and slowly get all picked off. They have to survive 3 rounds. You also get a cameo from Heather Langenkamp, who was in Nightmare on Elm Street, and the main girl there, that's Nova from the Sharknado movies. Now, I saw this one, again, not the Blumhouse one, it's a completely different movie, and it's fun and it's cheesy. It really goes cheesy and over the top, and there's lots of crazy, creative stuff. The only thing is, this movie's set on Halloween, but it's super happenstantial. Like, there's a little tiny bit of Halloween decorations, and one of the girls has on cat ears for Halloween, but like, it's set on Halloween, but you really don't feel the Halloween atmosphere, so I don't know if I'll cover this for Halloween or not. I mean, it's got some fun, cheesy moments. Again, not a perfect movie, but it's set on Halloween, but it just is really not Halloween-y, so I don't know if I'll cover this or not, but maybe if people want it. Up next, I saw this movie in half-price books for so long, and I thought, hey, Halloween is coming up, I should probably just go ahead and pick this up. Paranormal Halloween, and you get this ghost with a sheet over the head ghost with these big shears and going to a house that's literally a giant jack-o'-lantern. That's really fun. That's crazy. Half-brothers live out some horror's most terrifying scenes when they agreed to house sit a home full of ghostly visions, levitating objects, and possessions. This hilarious horror pays homage to classics like The Exorcist, Amityville, Sinister, and Insidious. Okay, yeah, so it's probably, yeah, lampooning genius. So we have a horror comedy here. Like I said, I just picked it up, so I haven't seen this one, but if it's good enough, I might do this Halloween. I don't know. I like to pick some weird out of the blue ones, you know, so I might do that one. Up next one I got from Dollar Tree. This is I Am Zozo, and on Halloween, some people use a Ouija board and get in contact with this energy, this entity in the board who starts to kill them. So, yeah, it does take place on Halloween, but it looks more like a Ouija board movie. I don't know. This is one that I'm kind of up in the air on as to whether I'll do it or not. And if you guys want to see it, let me know and I'll bump it to the top of the list. After that, we have Weird Fiction, and this is an anthology horror movie. So it talks about how there's a character, the Collector, and he has a midnight TV special that airs around Halloween, in which you hear a bunch of weird fiction horror stories. Now, it sounds like the host is set in Halloween, but I don't know if any of the stories have anything to do with Halloween, so this is one of those that I'm like, it may not be super Halloween-y, but technically it is a Halloween movie. Another one I don't know if I'll review or not, but definitely a candidate, you know, so again, if you guys want to know, let me know. And I just picked this last one actually, we're almost done. I just picked this last one up from the Dollar Tree, Trick or Treat, about a middle-aged gangster who decides to retire, and his brother hit and runs this guy who's a son of a crazy gangster, so he kind of gets pulled back into the world. So it sounds more true crime than Halloween, but it's set on Halloween. But I heard this really wasn't that great. This was at Walmart last year, just came to Dollar Tree this year, just picked it up. But yeah, it doesn't look super Halloween-y either, so I don't know if I'll review that or not. But anyway, got lots of movies I want to cover. Tell me which ones you guys really want to see. Again, I've done like about a third of these. But I'll definitely get to Halloween 2 through 6. I definitely am going to do Night of the Demons 2, Houses October Built 2, All Hallows Eve, and Terrifier, and definitely Black Pumpkin, and I do want to do 31 as well. The rest, I don't know, but I do want to get to at least those. But anyway, there's all the Halloween movies, or at least all the Halloween movies I found. With Halloween movies as opposed to like shark movies, I did another playlist where it was all my shark movies, and those were a lot easier to find. You know, they're all in my creature features section, but it's kind of hard to remember out of all these horror movies which ones take place on Halloween, which ones don't. So if I get a bunch more Halloween movies, and if I find more that I missed, I might do another volume of this next year. But definitely cool to take a look and get everything at least talked about just a little bit. But yeah, there's the Halloween collection as it stands now, and I hope you guys enjoyed. To everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. Anyway, I'll put a relevant playlist on the bottom. It should be my Halloween videos playlist, so if there's any of these movies that I've covered already that you want to see my review for, it'll be down there, and more videos will pop up there as we go through October 2021. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Halloween playlist on the bottom if you want to see more specific reviews. Anyway, have a good day. See you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.